Hello everybody. 4 years ago, FedEx lost 5 family members when FedEx Flight 235 was lost over the Pacific Ocean. Now one of them, Chuck Nolan, has returned to us, and I wanted to say a few words to commemorate his return from the dead and welcome him back to the land of the living. Right before Chuck's plane crashed, his friend handed him a life raft and told him, "Hang on to this." That gift gave Chuck a chance to escape immediate death. But after he washed ashore on a desert island, life was about to get very challenging. The story of Chuck's return is more than a story of just plain survival, but a story of physical and spiritual survival. That being said, I believe it was Chuck's character that enabled him to return to us today. Chuck's traits, such as ingenuity, courage, determination, and perseverance, are what it took to survive this ordeal and make it home. Ingenuity. The ingenuity to invent and create useful tools out of the scarce resources available on the island and combine them with all the things that washed up on the beach in FedEx boxes from the plane crash. Chuck made an axe out of a pair of ice skates. Now opening coconuts would be much easier. Chuck made a fish net out of a woman's lace dress. Now catching fish would be easier. Chuck used VCR cassettes to bind things together. Chuck named a volleyball to have someone to talk to and confide in. There was one box that Chuck did not open. It had angel wings on it, and Chuck decided when he got home he was going to personally deliver the package himself. Courage, the courage to overcome obstacles that are taken for granted in everyday normal life. Chuck had an abscessed tooth that had to come out. Chuck placed an ice skate against the tooth and hit it with a rock and knocked it out. Determination. Determination to somehow survive against all odds when living was so hard. Perseverance. The perseverance to not give up and perish on that tiny island and choose life instead, when dying may have been the easier choice. So all these personal strengths and character traits mixed in with a little luck helped bring Chuck back to us. Once, my friends and I went on a survival camping trip on an island, and we didn't bring any food, cell phones, or any modern devices of any kind. We just brought tents, blankets, and fishing poles with us on the boat. As it turns out, the fish weren't biting. Hey, did anybody bring any contraband food? No? Whose bright idea was this anyway? That evening, a storm blew in. We're pretty sure a tornado had passed closely by. The wind was blowing the rain sideways and the tents ripped up out of the ground. There wasn't a thing that didn't get soaking wet, including us. And to top it off, the boat sank overnight from all the rain and swamped the motor. The rain continued throughout the next day and the wind didn't stop either. It was miserable. Our biggest priority after we assessed the damage was to get the boat floating again so we could start to dry the motor out. Another cold, wet, hungry, miserable night lay ahead of us. The next day we managed to get the boat started, packed up and left. The 2 longest days of our life were finally over. Imagine being on an island under extreme conditions for 4 years with no hope in sight. That's what Chuck did. We wanted to welcome Chuck home. His character truly helped bring him back to us. If you believe in destiny, then destiny put him on that tiny island. And destiny brought him back to us. His life had definitely changed, maybe for the better. The lax box that he didn't open was delivered to the addressee in Texas. Had he opened it, he would have found a waterproof, solar-charged cellular phone with GPS monitoring. Destiny, I suppose, can be a funny thing. Chuck, you want to come on up here?